Hi everyone, today I'm going to take a look at another way to use these dimensional card blanks. Originally they were designed to be printed out and used to make these cards and to practice your Zentangling, and they just took a little bit of the pain out of getting it wrong. For instance, if I Zentangled one of the pattern pieces and made a mistake with my Zentangling, I could easily print out or cut out one of the spare shapes, Zentangle that, and I haven't ruined my complete card. And all these elements are decoupaged onto the card to give this lovely result. So there are 5 designs that feature sort of everyday nature type designs like these daisies here, and as you can see, you could just add different colours and they take on a whole new look. This is probably one of the most versatile sets of patterns that you will come across, and I've also got 5 designs that are based around Christmas, and again all aimed originally at Zentangling. But the more I made the videos to show you how to do these when I was working on the workshop, the more I realised there were lots of different ways you could use these patterns. So for instance, this tulip design, here it is Zentangled, and here it is using your background stamps and just adding in different colours of card. So you can see you don't have to Zentangle to use these patterns, and that's what this little piece is all about. I just want to point you in the right direction if you want to buy these patterns, and I want to show you how you can use your pattern papers. And we're going to be looking at this curvy tree design, and you can see that that's what it looked like Zentangled, and this is what it looks like using your pattern papers, and I'm going to show you in this video how to do that. And I really hope that it encourages you to go along and buy the templates from my Etsy shop. Now, although I show you in the original workshop that you can do this, I showed you in a slightly different way, and it was when I was doing a class this year that I thought actually I could set up some print files so it makes it easier to achieve this printed look, and that's what I've done. So I've created some new files that I'm more than happy to share with those people that buy this original set of workshops and templates. So if you ask for the PDF file, you will find that it's got some instructions on what to print and how many of each to print. And this particular design lent itself to being able to do 12 cards in one go. So as you can see, I've got 12 pieces on this red piece of paper. The blue piece of paper is printed out twice to get the 12 pieces of the next pattern piece, and then there are 12 pieces on the green. And I've done 2 different colourways to show you how versatile and how quick and easy this is to make up. So although potentially I can make 24 Christmas cards ready for Christmas, I'm going to show you one of each. So I'm just taking one set of shapes from each of my pattern papers, and I'm just going to show it to you and make it up in 2 different colourways. So I need one from each of the sheets. You will also need to print out 12 of the little poems, and you will choose, depending on the colours of card that you're using, what to print that out on. Plus obviously you will need a card base for each of those 12 cards. So I'm going to be mounting this onto a navy blue card. You cut it to 11.5 by 8 inches and then score it and fold it in half at 5 3/4, and I'm going to repeat that with this piece of burgundy cardstock for the other colourway. So I'm scoring at 5 3/4 inches and then folding my card bases in half. So potentially if you were going to make the whole batch of 12 in one go, you would have 12 pieces of card in the same colour, and you would fold them into the card bases. So I've got my navy blue for one colourway of card, and I've got my burgundy for the other. So I'm just going to again cut out one set of pieces ready to make up my curvy tree Christmas card. So you can see how easy it is to mix and match some papers that you might have left from lots of different collections and put them together to make these great Christmas cards. So you've printed out all your pieces of paper and you've folded all your card bases, and the next thing that you're going to do is perhaps go and watch a TV programme and cut out all the pattern pieces, and you're going to leave the black line intact. So you want each of the pieces to have a black line all the way around. So as well as cutting out all the Christmas tree pieces, you're also going to cut out your potentially 12 pieces of paper with the Christmas tree poem on that I wrote, and you're going to cut out on the inside line, and I'm going to show you two different ways of mounting this little poem. So all of the pattern papers I've used started out as a 12 by 12, and this works quite well when you want to do the backing that's going to go behind this poem. And you can either use plain colour cardstock that you might already have and cut this piece out in one go, but I'm going to suggest that you use the offcuts that you've got from cutting your 12 by 12s into an A4 that you can print, and you're going to be using that, cutting that into strips to make a border around the back of the Christmas poem. So I've got lots of little strips like this that I've got left over from cutting out my A4 sheets, and I'm going to trim this piece of paper into 1/2 inch strips. So I'm just cutting it to a size where I can work out where the 1/2 inch mark is, and I'm going to cut the whole piece of paper. So to make your frame, you're going to begin by attaching double-sided tape to the two long sides of your Christmas poem, and then you're going to attach your paper strip so that half of it is showing around the edge or along the edge of the card, and then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim the paper strip into a mitered corner at both ends. And you're going to repeat that process along the opposite edge. So this way we're going to make our remnants of our pattern papers go a lot further, and the likelihood is that you'll be able to make enough frames with the pieces that you've got to finish off your 12 cards. So don't forget to miter the corners, as I almost did, and then you're going to add double-sided tape to the two short edges to complete your frame, and this time you just need to do a straight cut to trim the frame into shape. And I just add a little dot of glue just to make sure that that mitered corner stays in place. And then we're ready to add double-sided tape and attach the poem and its printed frame to the centre of the card. So I've cut some more strips in one of my other pattern papers, and I'm repeating those steps to create another frame for the second version of this card. So if you're choosing to batch make this, you will now have 12 cards, and they will have the 3 different patterns forming frames on each of them. And then you're ready to put your Christmas tree into position. So I suggest you do a dry run first, which I've done here, and don't forget the curve in your Christmas tree. And then you're going to start by adding the trunk first, and you'll see why, because it has to sit inside the pot and behind the tree. So that's the piece that goes on first, and I'm choosing to put that on with glue, but you could use double-sided tape. Next is the little pot. Now you can choose to do this 2 ways. I'm going to be using glue to put everything in position on this card, and that's because I want it to stay nice and flat. And the reason I want it to stay nice and flat is because it is cheaper to post here in the UK. And I would imagine that if you're choosing to batch make your Christmas cards, you're sending them out to lots of people, and you'll want to keep them as flat as possible. So here I'm doing a version that I'm attaching everything with glue. And obviously glue gives you a little bit of time if you haven't quite got things in position, just to make sure that your tree curves over and you're ready to put your little star on top and that it sits nicely on your card. I'm not going to show you how to put this together using foam pads because it's on the video for this card that comes with the 14 tutorials that are included in this workshop. So there's lots of information, and you can choose whichever method you want, depending on, I would imagine, whether you're going to post these or whether you're going to give them by hand. If you're going to give them by hand, then it is quite a nice touch to use foam pads and bring a little bit more dimension to this curvy tree. So you can see once your pattern pieces are cut out how quick this is to put together, and it does really make an ideal way to make lots of Christmas cards in one go. And you can see here the two different pattern papers and the two different looks that I've achieved. And you know, the sky's the limit. You'll be able to mix and match them to come up with combinations of your own. And the next thing that I just wanted to quickly show you before we get to the end of this video, and that's the different ways you can add a little bit of sparkle and Christmas to these trees. And the first thing is the little baubles that you're going to put on the end of the branches, and I think that card candy works quite well for this. It's still quite flat, and you can just put them in position on the end of all your branches. So I'm attaching my little pieces of card candy with silicone glue, but you could use tiny foam pads if you wanted to. And the other things that you could use for baubles are buttons, you could use sequins, and any other small round brads, things like that, you could use as baubles on your Christmas tree. It's just a case of mixing and matching things that you have to hand. And then for one final touch of Christmas sparkle, I'm taking my Stickles glitter glues and I'm just embellishing the patterned papers, just adding a few little dots of sparkle in different stickle colours to finish these Christmas cards off. I really hope that this video inspires you to go along to my Etsy shop and purchase this set of workshops for yourself. It comes with everything you need to print out the card blanks. It shows you how to Zentangle the cards, it shows you how to use your stamps to put the cards together, and it shows you how to paper piece the cards. And now you've got another free PDF that will allow you to batch make the Curvy Christmas tree and also the Christmas card wreath, which I'll show you in a moment. So just a quick run through. There are 5 designs for birthday cards, probably not as suitable for batch making, so I haven't made any batch print versions of these. You probably want to make these individually, but you can still paper piece them, and I've showed you how to do that, and you can still Zentangle them and use your background stamps. If you're Zentangling or stamping your cards, you can make them in any colour way you like. So here's one in the pink and here's one in this sort of teal colour, and you can choose whichever cardstock you want to make these cards up. There are also 5 Christmas designs, and now there you will find, if you purchase this template, you will also get 2 PDF files, one so that you can batch make the curvy tree and one so that you can batch make this Christmas wreath. And the video how-to of the Christmas wreath will be added soon. I'm definitely leaving these videos free because they are a great advert for this really versatile set of patterns. I was so happy with how they turned out. They're fab for Zentangling, fab for stamping, and as you can see here, great for using your pattern papers and batch making your Christmas cards. So until next time, thank you for watching.